Suppose Mr. Grimes had tried another approach.
Most of you are disappointed in the low grades you made on this test. So am I. Nearly all of you had trouble with that last problem on ratio. Now, perhaps I didn't do a good job explaining ratio. Now, ratio is commonly used in everyday life. Mother uses it in the kitchen when she takes a recipe for a big cake and uses proportional amounts of ingredients to make a little cake, or vice versa. But let's suppose a recipe called for 8 cups of flour and 4 eggs. I wanted to make a cake half that size. How much would I use?
You'd need 4 cups of flour and 2 eggs.
That's right. You boys use it in the shop when you read a blueprint. As you know, a blueprint's merely a scale drawing of something that's usually larger. Suppose I had a blueprint of a bridge that's going to be 100 feet wide. But on this drawing, the bridge is only 10 inches wide. Now, how many feet would each inch represent?
10 feet.
That's right. Now, that's in ratio. Now, let's see where we made our mistakes. The problem was this. What is the ratio between 4.5 yards and 1.5 feet? Now, you looked hurriedly at 4.5 and 1.5, said the answer was 3. Well, that's where you fell into a trap. What you forgot was that before you can divide, you have to reduce all units of measurement to the same unit. Now, what's the unit here?
Feet?
That's right.
By golly, I sure fell for that one.
First of all, let's change 4.5 yards into feet. That gives us 13.5 feet. And now we can divide 13.5 feet by 1.5 feet. The right answer is 9.
Wow, I see where I made my mistake.
Now, I want you to look over your papers very carefully and see where you made your mistakes. I'll come down the aisles, and if there are any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Yes?
No, from Dr. Williams.
All right, thank you. I have to leave for a few moments. On page 15 of your books, the first 3 problems are exactly like number 1 on the test. Suppose you do as many as you can until I get back.
I get the idea now. I sure messed up my test paper.
I'm glad he's going over these questions. I'd never make head or tail out of them otherwise.
You know, I'm beginning to get some sense out of this.
I hope I do better next time. I'd hate to bring another paper like this home. The way he explains it, it doesn't seem too hard.
Oh, come on, cut it out. I want to do these problems.
Oh, let's have some fun while Mr. Grimes is out. Who wants to do these old problems anyway?
Now, you know where that board eraser belongs. That's where I put it there.
Grimes sure caught him in the act.
Oh, Grimes is a pretty good egg.
That's more like it. Now you're getting it. Let's see if you can do the next one.
Classroom control and learning efficiency are products of good teaching. Learning must be made meaningful. Interest in work for which learners see a purpose provides its own discipline. But in spite of interest and meaning, it must be remembered that some incidents will occur. Skill in handling such occurrences prevent their growth into problems.
Well, that was a pretty good catch. For a moment, I thought you'd miss.
I'm sorry, but I owed him the apple.
Well, I guess a fellow's expected to pay his debts. I'd suggest, though, in the future you do your baseball practicing outside of class.
A friendly attitude with a sprinkling of humor.
Most of you have no foundation at all.